You could take your whole being. Go ahead.
I started seeing very intense and repeatedly from different views. It is a sound. It is like a siren, but it's not a physical siren. It's like a sound that is piercing through everything and flashes of light, like you would open and close your eyes. They move like they're dancing, like it's similar to aurora borealis. And I see a lot of beings. They look like lights. It's just pulsing light without a body or form or anything. And it's a sense of urgency. And it's like a frenzy. And they are all talking with each other. They are not close, like we would say close. They're communicating is like they are synchronizing, and it's like one is making a move and is transmitting to another one, like I've made a step, it now it's your turn, and so on. And everything is
Oh, you're cutting out there a little bit.
It's everything related to this sound, which is coming. And now I see it like the sound is like it's leaving marks like waves, vibrations when it passes through, but it's not a light. It's a sound that you cannot hear, but now I can hear it, and it's so loud. But you could say that you cannot hear it. I don't know how to. Not everybody can hear it, and everyone is around, like it's making, like you are on a highway, for example, and this sound is making its way on the center, and everything is around it and is moving together with it, like it's preparing the place in front of it, like to be ready, and it's very fast.
And is it apparent to you what you need to be ready for?
I just saw the image of my chest. It's very similar with the image that you have on your screen.
Mm.
My chest is just like exploding light. It's like the point where it will express itself. It's coming from within.
Mm. And what happens next?
It's like I'm floating. it's I'm in a bubble, and it's like my legs are on the ceiling, are up, and I'm moving in this bubble until I get used with it, so I can sit straight. It feels like I'm being in a wheel, it's not moving fast or something, but until I can find that center and get used with how it is to be like this. Now I felt like I don't have to sit straight. Like I just, similar with lay down, and even the sensation that you don't have to look like you would drive a car or something to look ahead. It's within. It's, you are guiding yourself from within. And I have the feeling that I have created this bubble to feel safe until I get used. It's similar to sleeping, like the state you are right away after you wake up is like when you, and someone is trying to speak with you and say, okay, just a second, let me wake up. It's similar.
Would you like a moment of silence to connect fully and have it adjust you? Okay. Let me know when you're ready to speak again.
No, it's like it made a turn. I made a turn. Oh. It's like a spiral. Like how the sound, imagine that you're making an arc, and now it's coming back on the other half. And now I'm on the other half. I'm not on the same part of the circle. I'm on this other part. And now I can hear a lot of beings very happy and just like organizing this, like, okay, everyone has ideas what to do, how to do, and it's like children, with everyone has ideas and enthusiasm, and it's like I just heard, we are free, we are free, we are free, we've did it.
Oh my God.
It's
what
like
a celebration.
Oh yes, everyone, it's like we are here. It's everything illuminated. It was, imagine a circle, half of it is dark and half of it is part-time now. And even in the way I can breathe, the way I can see, the way light is perceived is like it has no color. is like crystalline. Everything is crystalline here. This is, I know I can feel the color underneath. It has colors if you want, but the base structure is crystalline, pure crystalline. And this is how you feel. You feel pure crystalline.
Beautiful.
And it is like breathe, breathe, breathe. I feel this. It is a sense of missing this.
Well, you're sounding a little far away all of a sudden.
It's like when you held your breath for a long time, and now you're breathing.
Oh, beautiful. Take in that breath.
I can feel icy waves when I breathe. Waves of energy, like I'm reconnecting. I'm reconnecting with this field and with myself. Imagine an ocean that has redrawn, like it is a lake which is going farther from the shore. This is how we've been, and we were outside of the water. And now we are coming again, entering the water. And we are reconnecting with parts of ourselves and with everything that exists, and with our memories, and with everything that we know and that we are, that we've been. And we are not separate anymore.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Do you get a sense of where this place is? Is it more of a physical place or more of just an energetic place?
It's the cosmic ocean. This is what I've heard, because now I was like floating in it.
May I ask, how does this shift in energy in the cosmic ocean affect physical planets? When those waves reach those planets,
I see
what
them.
happens?
And if I've seen before a similar image. Imagine balls, white. It's like in this state, they are all the same. Like white, big spheres. So from here, there is no difference between them. It is like they are being washed again. Like similar with what I felt in my body. It's the same for the planet. It's coming again here in place where it's everything, like remembering that you are here. And then it's like going with these waves again. It's not wiping the memories. You remember what it used to be. But everything that remains is in harmony. it's it. I had an image on the physical level. It could look like destruction. I see a lot of water coming on the surface. But it's not destruction. Is this cosmic water, which is in fact infusing it? And I see like opening is from outside and from within, both. And I see like cracks, like you crack open, you know that expression where you see cracks on the surface of the planet, like I'm looking from above, and it's like you're opening. It's the same sensation when you have, when you say that you go deep within your heart, right? When someone said breaking your heart, it's not in the sense of breaking, but when you go that deep that you open all these spaces for that energy to cleanse everything.
Beautiful.
I
Go
can
ahead.
feel a lot of, I hear people screaming when this happens.
Do you get a sense of what they're reacting to? Is it something external? Okay.
No, it's internal when this happens.
Okay.
Because I felt it in my body when this happens. They get scared because they don't know what is happening, and it can be scary if you don't know what is on the other side. But I feel like raising out from this level of vibration.
Do you get a sense for how long that process takes?
No, I see us, it's like a river with many branches, which is now floating on the planet. It's like the branches of a tree, which are spreading everywhere. This is the network. I see it from the North Pole, weaving down in all directions. And this is this water, which is bright, but it's the sense it is that crystalline, which is coming down, and we are in this floating in this river. We are all entering this river, this network created by this water. And some is like when you go swimming, some are just laying down on their back and just floating and having the experience. And some are pushing their hands and screaming, and they are fighting it like they are drowning, but they are not. They cannot drown here. All of us, we are here on these rivers, on this network. And the sound that I heard in the beginning, if you stay still, you hear it in this water. It is here forever. It is imprinted. It is the sound of the void. It sounds like a paradox. Sound of the void. This is how I felt it. The sound of the silence.
And then what eventually fills the void?
Sorry?
What eventually fills the void? What happens next?
I just felt it, and it is us. We are one with the void. So imagine how I've seen it. The void is you, again with the water. Imagine an ocean. You go under the water. In that state, you are in the void. You are the void in the physical, in not only in the physical, in the manifest. You raise to the surface, like you take a form. You appear as a form as you raise, like you're sitting on your back, like you're floating, and you just come up to the surface, and your body, the form imprinted on the water, is the form that you choose to have. This is the manifest, but you are always in that water.
Beautiful. And how does this change the physical? Does the physical still exist?
I could feel like vibration. The nature of this substance, I don't know how to call it, is so made that you can feel it. There is no distance. You can feel any movement, because any movement is generating a vibration, and you hear everything. Like you feel everything, you know everything.
Beautiful. What knowledge would you like to access in this state?
I can see pockets. You know the natural spring waters, and they have these bubbling pockets. It's something similar. And they have a different song. It's like an entire orchestra is singing there. It's like it's celebrating the birth of something. And I would like to connect with one of these pockets.
Good. Take the time you need.
It's a renewal energy. It's like after having an experience, now I've seen myself as being ready for having an experience. Because I saw the image of an island, like a very pristine island, and I was walking from the water, like literally from the water, and stepping into the island. And I felt really strong. And the feeling was the word tired is not appropriate, but I don't know which one to use. But like, even after you had an experience which was demanding, and that energy is renewing, and you feel ready for any exploration and adventure, and it's like a blank new canvas that can be painted again.
Mm.
Exactly like my painting.
Beautiful.
And what I've seen now is very interesting, that the image that I've seen before with floating above, now I felt like looking within, like I was staying in this water and looking below, and there are realities here. It's like inside there are realities here. It's like there are bubbles, and it's very, the things which are made for Christmas themes, like they're spheres, and they have water inside, and they have a house or something with plastic covered, transparent. Those, I don't know the name, but it looks like this. And you can see from outside, let's say, you can see inside, but when you're inside, you cannot see outside. It's like you are in that story, like exactly in that bubble. In these products that we are making, it's a reflection. It's like they are trying to remember us, to make us remember about the nature of our reality.
And do they have any luck? Do we start to remember?
What I feel is that it doesn't matter in which bubble you are and what do you feel when you are in that bubble. It doesn't matter in your essence. It's untouchable. Like there is going to be a moment when you are going to get out of the bubble. It doesn't matter when it happens, but you are untouchable. It doesn't matter how painful it could feel like when you're inside. When you get out, you're suddenly remembering everything. And you know what is the tricky part is that the outside seems to be dark and we are afraid of it. And the inside seems to be light and we are attracted by it. In fact, there is no dark and light. It's just the first crystalline that I've seen. It wasn't no dark or light or colors or anything. This is just a step down, I feel like saying. I know I see an image from a circus, like and all the lights going and flashing and all those different songs playing and all these machines, and they are all flashing and trying to get your attention to go on a ride and a new ride, and it's like it's so funny. It's like laughing now. It's like you feel bad, go on one of those, and then you feel dizzy, but you cannot stop it and you go in another one.
Mm.
This is our experience. It's like just stop. Like don't go in another one. Just stop. Like the images. Put yourself on the ground and just shut all the noises. Everything that is calling you outside. And just come back inside. In this silence. I was laughing because from here I can feel the pain. And I know how it is, but it is also funny, really. We know when we are doing something, we know when it's not good for us to do it. We always know.
Yeah.
But we still choose to do it.
And is your perspective drawn more out of this kind of globe, snow globe, or is it drawn more in?
I see myself like, I've seen myself like this pulse of light that I've seen on the beginning. And I am moving through these spheres, through different spheres, and I'm looking from outside and going within, like exploring, going out, going inside another one, and like not what I felt like saying now, not getting attached to one of them. It's like exploring. The difference is when you go in a place, like you want to map a place, for example, in the wood, you discovered a new thing and you want to map the place to explore it. This is how I feel. In comparison with going in the wood and forgetting why you're there and getting lost, and then, okay, I'm here, and then it's like what I felt now is like forgetting with each step. You first forget that you entered that place, that you came from another place, and you start, that your intention was to map that place. Then when you start doing it, because you have this, before forgetting, we have an impulse which is driving us. It's like a reflex. And we are doing some things from this energy which is propulsing us. And then you start doing it. And then it's like you fell asleep and you will wake up and you forgot another part. Mm-hmm. And you forgot, and it's gradually until you consider that that is the only place that you know. And it's like, okay, so this is where I live now, and let's build a house or something like that and get accustomed with this place. This is the difference of remembering your essence. That this is an experience, one of the experiences, one of the places, and you are free to leave. And you're free to choose to get out, to get in another bubble or not. And just stay outside and look inside from outside if you want.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
The level of experiencing, I feel it is very personal. Like, even though, as I perceive it from myself, I am aware. The feeling is, I feel like I am alone here. And I'm aware that I'm not alone in this huge space. But in my universe, it's like I am, like I have inhaled all this space, the entire space within me, and I'm looking inside of myself. It's, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know too.
You're doing great. So what is it? What is the reality that you would like to see yourself experiencing in this place?
Now I looked within,
Mm-hmm.
and I just see an ocean. It's an image which I'm seeing a lot of times in meditation, like when you see the ocean from above and the waves which are calm, like moving, and the sun, and it's so peaceful. This is what I see within me when I look now.
Enjoy that. That sounds amazing.
It's like even the waves are moving. It's the feeling of stillness. It's like I am the entire, what we would call air above it. I am the air. I am all expanded, and I am that air. It just exists. So it's existence. Just to exist. Just this. No purpose. No. It's being. And when I breathe from this state, I can feel everything. It's again this. Now I can feel them as is similar with the roots, like, or the network of the neurons. I see these invisible threads, millions and millions of threads of light, which are coming out from me, which are connected to everything. And it seems like you look at air, and there is nothing there, but there is this network. It's everywhere, and it takes different forms, but it's the same. It's like we put in the physical, like you have a dress, and then you put some trousers, but you're the same. You don't change because you have different clothing.
When you put on this different clothing, though, how does it change you? I mean, does it reflect something different in you or bring out something different?
Yes, I felt the playful energy. Is like exactly, why do we have theater? Why we go to the theater? And because I'm seeing a scene now a very playful scene, like it's and the characters knows they are playing a play, but they're still enjoying the roles, and also the people looking, they also know that this is a play and this is a script, but they go there and they enjoy it, but then they leave, and they know it does not diminish the experience, knowing what kind of experience you have. You don't have to forget. We have chosen to forget. I know, I get it now.
Mm.
We have chosen to forget because in order to get more immersed in the experience, like the feeling that you are feeling more intensely. And now I see the comparison with VR. So compare VR when you put some glasses on, and with going to the theater when it's easier to remember. So when the play is finished or during the play, you can, whenever you are conscious that you are at the play and you have the choice to do whatever you want. What we have chosen to do is the extreme. It's that immersive, like in the VR, when you don't remember that you have the glasses on, and you can take them on. We have chosen that to feel even more intense. In this forgetfulness, it is the intensity of feeling everything. It didn't matter what we were feeling. It was the feeling. I feel is similar with a drug, I would say, not in a negative way, but that desire of going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So if someone wanted to remember, how would they take off their VR glasses and come back to a different reality of who they really were?
They have to stop what there is the same thing that I've seen in the amusement park. Now with the VR, you have to stop what you see, the projection.
Mm-hmm.
In the amusement park, you see the lights and the sounds that are calling you, and those machines and other people that are enjoying. But it is like you have a button, like really each of us. Because as I said, that even if we are all sharing this experience or any experience, it doesn't matter. It's not only on earth. It doesn't matter where. It is inside yourself. It's like you took the entire creation. I don't know how to say otherwise. And you have it inside yourself. And each of us is experiencing in a different way. So each of us has a button that we can push to stop everything. Like in the park, when you push that button, it's like it stopped everything. And in the moment, it's like few seconds of really silence. When everything is silent, it's hitting you, like you remember. And the first sensation, because I can feel it now, is like what is this place? It's like you are feeling in an abandoned place, like after a war or something, that image when what is here, like I'm all alone here. The first feelings is like it's something you cannot recognize it. You feel a little bit scared, like it's not familiar. The other place when it was all loud and everything, like it was something that you knew you were not alone. This is the feeling. The first impression here is that you are alone, and it can be scary if you look at the lack of movement. So it's stillness and being accustomed with stillness and understanding loneliness, understanding that everyone that we see, in fact, how can I will say it exactly how I feel it. Even if you're surrounded by 1 million people, you are inside yourself, each of us. You could say you are alone, but it's not this meaning of alone. It's the individual nature of the experience. So we are running away from our nature, our core nature. We are running from ourselves. It's like you are trying to enter into another one. So our place is within us. Imagine that each of us is a bubble, and it is inside of us. When you run from being with yourself and being in the stillness and being what we call lonely, it's like you are either between bubbles, which feels like you are hanging on air. It's like, it's very scary. It's like you need a ground, like you need to, you know that you need to be in a structure. So you find one, like you are hurrying, running, and you're trying to enter in another one's bubble inside of it, and you cannot do it.
Mm. Would you like to see at all what's in your bubble on Earth at this point? Things that are unknown or were unknown that you would like to now see?
I'm looking, my bubble is within my body. It's like our body is this entire replica of the entire creation. And when I'm looking for my bubble in the earth, it's like I'm looking in my physical body in a cell. This is the scale of what we contain. And this is with us in any form of shape that we take, even in the body, in the physical body, we carry the entirety of who we are with us, expressed in different forms, but it is with us because we are with us, because we cannot be without us. It's, I don't know, you are, like, you are whole. You cannot have the parts without the whole. Now I'm getting inside. And starting with the earth. I'm just in what we would call earth, like solid earth. And I'm just consciousness, and I'm sitting inside and feeling everything, like how it is to be earth. And listening. the general feeling that I have is because I felt I was raising up. So I started from the earth going up. And while I went to the surface and up, it's like I heard when you hear someone screaming, but it's a very far echo and you can hardly hear it. This is how I hear now this play, which is playing out on earth. It's like I hear the sound of it, but I don't hear the words. It's like when you are in the play or in the theater, it's the same. You are watching the play, so you're staying on your chair and watching, but you're imagine that is mute, almost mute. It's like, and you're watching the expressions, and more than expressions, it becomes earth itself. The entire play can be considered a note, a single note, with all the sounds, the individual sounds that we each make. If you hear, it is one sound, one note, and this is what I am listening to, that unique one note that we are all generating.
And then what happens?
This sound, I felt it in my forehead. It was like imagine a network of tunnels, and this sound, we communicate in this network of tunnels, and it was like the sound, I allowed it to enter, like I was absorbing it into my forehead. Then it went through, like going along this tunnel, and it was like a calling in this network and meeting with other sounds. It's like a way of speaking. It's very similar with when we write letters. This is the comparison that I see. When you send a letter to someone, it is similar, but on a different level.
Okay.
And I see there are some, I see myself now and a few others. It's like a forest, similar to a forest. You have a very big forest full of trees, but you have some of them which are older and which are higher. And it is like they are this network, like those which are little but not more important or something. It's just they are smaller. It's like, okay, you do your thing there and enjoy your experience. And we are communicating. And these trees are, which are taller, are everywhere, not only on earth. They are not, they are pillars. So in this way,
go ahead.
In this way, we remain connected with what is happening everywhere. It's like pillars of consciousness is like sending energetic information of, you take this note, like you would write a letter and describe the situation of on earth, for example. You would write a book if you would write in words with what is the current status now on earth. But taking in this single note that encompasses everything and putting it like you put it in the network is a synthesis of everything and everyone in a language that everyone understands what is happening on earth with everything. It's like from this note, unique note, you can, like, you open up and you can, it's similar with what I see now. Those that can access it, those higher trees, they can open it like you would open the earth itself, like you would open a window and look at earth closer, further, zooming in, asking everything, like accessing like you are directly here, but you are not here. And we can do the same with any other node that it is in the system. This compressed information. This is how we communicate.
Okay.
And that's why the trees are important. They are, again, they are reminding us. They have a different form, but because what I see is not the tree. It doesn't even matter. This is what I feel. We are looking for a form because it's just energy. It's just conscious energy. Even if it manifests as a tree or a pillar of light, or now I can see, I see different forms. They manifest depending on the reality, how they manifest and how they are perceived, but they are the same. So trees, everything that forms a network in the natural world, it's also a gateway to part of this bigger structure. It can lead you, is like, again, the example with the tree, that you have the trunk and then you have the ramifications. There is a main structure which is equivalent with the trunk of the tree, which are these big, constant. They are eternal. They exist. It doesn't matter where, when, time, outside of everything, because they support, they are the pillars of everything. And these are the branches, which are the smaller networks, which are around each tree, big tree, and they are all connected, these trees, big trees. And they are connected with this, what can look smaller, networks, but we can have a taste of what connection and this huge network is by connecting in the natural world with something that has a network, in a way, natural one, because it's a replica of it. It's like a child in comparison. Like, it's so beautiful. I see the crystals the same. They are connected.
Beautiful. Would you like to communicate with any of them, whether it's crystals or trees?
Yes,
or
with
just
the crystals.
Okay.
With the crystals, I just connected. And how it is the connection and it is an exchange. Like how I see it is like so beautiful. Like when we would talk, instead of hearing sounds, you would feel lights coming out. So you would see the vibration of the air, which takes the form of light. This is how they are communicating. It's like pulsing lights, like flashing. Tuk, 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 tuk. And it's the intensity. It's very sweet. Because it's like similar to a Morse code, you know, but it's with light, and they're very playful. The energy of the crystals. I've connected with it is an entire layer in the ground, deep within the earth, which is white quartz selenite, which is unbroken. It's like a full blanket. It's full. It's entire, and it's really a network of light.
Beautiful. Do they have any messages for you today?
We are here and we are prepared. We're just waiting for you to remember us. We remember, like they are saying that they are remembering what Earth remembers because they were here from the beginning, and we can connect and ask questions. If there are things that happened on this earth and was recorded on the earth itself, they know it. And so many other things. It's like, just remember exactly the moment when you make that reconnection, and what we see now as possibilities, like theoretical, let's say, possibilities, what you could do when you truly make that step and that reconnection, it's like an entire universe is opening up, like opportunities and things that you could do, for example, together with the crystals. It's something that you never thought before. Like, let's say, you think 2-3 ways of interacting with the crystals before. But after you make that reconnection, it changes significantly. And why is changing? Because now I perceived why. Because you don't perceive them as objects anymore. You perceive them as consciousness.
Oh, I love that.
They are alive, full of life. there is this, when we embrace the differences, the different forms of consciousness expressing, that is the embracing of existence itself. It's the same with the trees and rocks and water and everything. When we are in this darkness, the first, that half of the circle that I've seen, because when I said about the rock, you only see the surface. It's like a volcano. For example, I've seen a volcano now, or even a mountain. It's the same. When you look at the mountain, you only look at the outside. You look at the crust. You look at the exterior. It's like in the play. You look at the clothes. When I said about dress and trousers, you don't see the one wearing the trousers and the dress. It's the same with the crystals and the trees and the mountains and everything. They are all wearing clothes, different ones, but they are clothes, just like us.
Beautiful.
And only this sense of recognition is like I have the feeling that I don't need anything. You know?
Yeah.
When everything is like opening up, it's like the feeling I'm happy. And even the word happy sounds. I just am, and I don't need anything. Like when you have all the possibilities, it's no need. You don't need. It's amazing, this state. Being in this state of not needing is leading us here.
Beautiful. Would they like to share with you what you'll experience as you don't need anything anymore? Some of the changes that you'll experience.
It was a beautiful synchronicity that I've experienced several times when you asked the questions, because I was already starting to see. It's beautiful. I was seeing the mountains is like I was standing on the surface of the earth, like standing vertically, straight, and just breathing and breathing together with everything, like calling, like I'm here and I see you, something like that. What, you know, when you sing and there is an echo, they are the echo. So beautiful. So I say, it's like I'm breathing and they are breathing back to me, and then I breathe back to them and they breathe back to me, and I can feel this coming from everywhere around me. It's like this, exactly like our breathing, like this synchronization and harmony, and like being connected, but in the same time being visual. And it's like in this breathing, exchange of breathing is like a blending. It is the space of blending. It's like when you take colors, for example, when you paint, imagine that from left, I don't know, you breathe yellow, and is what is sent to you is green. And in this space, until it reaches you, the green is combining with yellow, and again and again and again, like you put new nuances, and what is coming to you, it's again a different, and is they are combining. It's never ending. It's such a complexity, and I feel it like a song and color. This is all together. It's like you would have an orchestra, for example, and you start with two persons, and then another one is coming, and another one, and another one, and it's just the complexity and this beautiful song.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else that they would like? Go ahead.
And if this song, it's ever present. So the nature, and not only the nature, consciousness, which is expressing here that core, which I've seen when I talk about the crystalline and the spheres, which have no color, sounds, and everything. Those which are emitting the song are those consciousness. It doesn't matter the clothing, it doesn't matter how it looks like, it doesn't matter the crust that it can have on the outside. This song, and today I heard Song of Creation. Now I understand why. I'm writing a book, and it's the primordial words, and today I felt to add something to the title, and it was the Song of Creation, because I was able to hear it.
Beautiful.
So this song, when you hear it, is like infuse in the physical body, like you inhale every, like you expand it, like you would stop the time, let's say, like you would hear it, but in a slower pace, in order to feel every part of it, every part of the sound, of the frequency, and just inhale it in the physical body. And by connecting to this core frequency, you connect to your core, your own core frequency, and you remember your own core frequency, because it's the same. The core is the same. That's why so beautiful. That's why, for example, nature or another person, when it sings this song, like its true song, the core song, it is a reminder for the rest, because it speaks directly with this core song, with that level of consciousness that is there in that pristine nature forever and ever, and you get to connect to yourself again and hear your own song again. And after you remember, you play your song and someone else hears it, and so on. But there is always someone who is singing this song, always. You just have to stop and listen. Because this core song is the first, that one from the beginning. It's, in a way, it's the one that circles everything. Exactly like a circle. I've said a circle. It's not, it's just, the circle means It's a spiral. The not even evolution, the transformation, the metamorphosis that it takes. These are just phases of expressions. Everything is this core. We are the core. And it's a gift.
Beautiful. Would they like to tell you how you should share these messages that you have and that they're giving you today and that you've accumulated?
I got a message today. It is the book. I started writing the book at the beginning of this year, and even if it's almost finished, it came to me like I'm describing these realms and in poetry and these vibrations. And I stopped for a few months, and today I was led to it. And I understood. Even when we started the session, I remembered that I have not asked about the book. It was one of the things. If it is beneficial to finish the book and to publish it, and I just heard within, I am sure that this information, that I will have the answer. So I had trust, and so it is. So yes, this is the way on. And I can feel the resonance of the words, and I can connect to it. It's so emotional.
Mm.
I connected before to this song when I started writing, and I can infuse it with this frequency, which is beyond words. With this feeling.
Beautiful. Is there any other way that they would like you to share your messages that would be beneficial?
I've seen myself standing like on the street on a conscious way, like I am sending information to my third eye in places, like I see myself in places with many people and just having the intention. I see now the image, on the radar when they are having this scanning with radars and they are moving, the radius is moving in a circle and it is like scanning. This is how I see myself, like I am emitting these waves infused with information while being out. And I can do it in more effectively when I am consciously doing it, like not only on the energetic, like physically grounding it and doing intentionally.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
it is true, even if it goes in the air, it is grounded through the earth. I can see it. That's why I need to be grounded. I need to be connected to earth.
Beautiful. Any other next steps that they advise you to take for this project?
What I see, the images of nebulas lighting up in my head. and explore that. I understand that this is something new opening up for me in my, let's say, inner exploration. What I see, it's like I go inside, I explore, and then I put these seeds in the network with what I found out. It, like I'm taking from within and planting it outside. And this is how I share it. It's not sharing when you put the seed in the earth, you are not sharing it with one tree or with one flower or with one animal, or you are sharing it with the earth and with everything that is connected to earth. And it doesn't matter the place, let's say. It's just a connection, in that state of connection.
Beautiful. Would they like to tell you about your connection with Anna and how to support that and have more harmony and balance?
I just feel flowing, a sensation of flow. Like, in a way, she's cold, like forcing. It's not forcing, like she's encouraging me to open up more. Like, I've seen my head with these creations like stars and nebulas and everything lighting up in my head to be explored. And she's the one like encouraging me to open up, like I have a tunnel inside myself. And I decide, like you were looking through a binocle, like you have an object that you look through it, and you decide how big is the diameter, how much you see, you allow yourself to see, what to explore. Like it would be a little part and a bigger part or so on. And the feeling is, so I opened myself, like I've seen her up, and she's like encouraging me, make it wider, 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 like look at everything, like something like that. I see her telling me, you don't have to decide anything. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to, she's giving the like playfulness, remembering the playfulness. And then like after you look and acknowledge everything, you can decide after that what you want to explore, where to start or everything. But is that feeling of don't open yourself more. And then I felt when I opened, I felt like water, streams of waters, like a cascade, falling, like flowing so naturally on my central column in my body, like washing and going in the earth, like flowing through me. It was a continuous flow. So for me, to let this flow within me, it's like we have like a faucet. We decide the debit, let's say, of the flow, how much we let from it to flow through us. And now I felt like I opened up more, even more.
Beautiful. Do they have any messages for Anna today?
To remember when she's looking at me, to do the same for her. So, because it's not, we have these roles. It's one is doing something, and the other is doing something else. But it's not so beautiful. That role is not forever. It's not meant to be like that forever. It's meant to evolve. Like for me, for example, it's meant that Anna should not stay there forever and ever to remember me. Remain open, let that thing flow. And I, which I'm reflecting to her, this flow and this torrent that can be seen as like crazy and is too much. Like if you go there, you will drown or something like that.
Mm.
This is what I'm reflecting to her and showing her that you don't drown at all. It's like you ride this wave. It's amazing. That it's not only we started like this. It's important to remember, but we can each individually have this full experience now because we already know. Like we don't need those, let's say, attention marks. Like, you know, when you have that feeling of trust that somebody is there and is like watching and like I said with myself when I'm entering somewhere and she's there like waiting for me, and when is the feeling that someone is waiting for you home, and if you don't appear home, is going to come looking for you. There is a point where you don't need that anymore. And this doesn't matter that something changed or that person is not significant anymore or is not important anymore, but the rules, the experience is changing and is more fulfilling. It's flowing together. It's not, before I felt it like it was parts, like you would experience, and it's for all of us, and not only in this regard. For example, someone has an attribute, a quality, and you get to experience that quality through the way it's embodying that person, the specific quality. It's like really you get to experience it. And then you get to embody it for yourself and to become like to be the expression of it. This doesn't mean that the person who had reflected you that is less important for you, but that person doesn't have to be forever and ever the expression only of that quality. It can allow itself to evolve and to look at others like this. We are all these mirrors, and to look around and to see, okay, I will give the examples with the colors, yes? Okay, I'm mainly embodying blue. Oh, look, that is the pink. Oh, it's so interesting. Let's see how this pink is. And you start, and you embody the pink. Also the pink. So you were before, let's say, blue, and you're now pink. But you are not only pink. You are blue with the pink. It's the same with what I said. These are layers, layers, layers. They're all. The difference is when you stay stuck and you see yourself as blue forever and ever. And this is the idea. And this is coming from the need for safety. It's like when we talk about big shifts, like when you know, and I speak about myself now. For me, it's like this. It's kind of the extremes, I would say. Not like it's big. Imagine that you are jumping in a cascade. You have a huge cascade and a steep going down the water, and I'm sitting up like this little dot sitting and looking, and I'm saying, I can do this. It could, for someone, could seem like crazy to do it, like risky, let's say. When you take this, when you choose to have this kind of experiences, it is useful to have someone staying there. Like, the difference is when you make changes in many steps and when you make sharp changes. When you do it with little steps, it's easier to, let's say, change your mind and turn around, or I don't know. So you can move easier and adjust the course, let's say, easier. But when there are big things, it's like you need to prepare better, and you need to have some anchors. And when I say anchors, I say about, and I speak about my experience now, some solid peoples in your life that get to do what you agreed that they will do, no matter what will happen. This is and she's one of them, and I am for her.
Beautiful.
And this is the moment when we both recognize that the period of needing the anchor, it's ended, and we can both just flow like we've did it. It's the danger zone, let's say. It's over. Like,
beautiful. Would they like to tell you anything about that relation?
He is one of the anchors.
Okay.
This was one of the things. Like, I see each of us is a fountain of something. Like, I don't know to express this. Each of us has have some attributes, like activities, like things that you do, like which are constant, and you're offering and giving that. I would say disregarding the receiver. So you're not doing it, especially for a person. It is just your nature. It is like literally like a fountain. This is the way you like to express yourself. And for him, I see it like the expression is like a solid rock. You know, when you are on the water and you can, like, you're sliding and you can grab your hand to a rock, and that rock will not move from there, no matter what the currents, how strong are the currents, and the depth of the water, and no matter what, it was my choice. It was my choice to grab the stone, because in the first place, I felt myself, I experienced myself as being in the current of water where I am dragged in a way. Yes, I am floating. I was there willingly, but the currents were strong. It's the experience with a river. Yes, this is the image that I have. I have decided to enter in this river, which looks like a little bit, let's say, not quite. It's quite bumpy, a bumpy ride, but I have decided to do it. And it was a moment when I decided that I need something to grab on, because I felt the need to do it. So it's not about him being the rock that he is and will be. It was about me having the feeling that I need, and I'm grateful that he chose to be that rock that I could touch and get the sense of stability and groundedness. And now I feel ready. I've already done it just by seeing this now. That I don't need rock. And quite the image that I have now is like, imagine this river that I've just described, like with flowing waters and big waters flowing, and you have the feeling that you can be pushed down. And now I have the image with a person sitting in a very small, barely visible stream of water, and suddenly you wake up and you are kicking your legs like and you are in a very small stream of water, and you stop and you look, this looks like, and you're like embarrassed, let's say, like, okay. It's a very different perspective. And you can just, okay, you've sat on your bum and you were a little bit screaming there and having the feeling that you are in a danger of a sort. And now you just realize that you are not, and you can rise up and walk on your own feet, like continue your journey. And I've got the full message of it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Just walk on your way. Like when you are sitting on your bum and you understand that, like when you scream and it's not quite possible, like your attention is focused on something else. It's like you are in that process, in that stream of water, like with everything, and your focus is on something else, not on. It's what, from the perspective of how it is translated, related to abundance. This struggle, the struggle that we have internally, it's survival, which is translated in some way automatically, which with lack of resources. Like we are generating the lack of resources to reflect the state that we could be if we are not aware on some aspects that has no relation with abundance at all. Like it is just a reflection of our internal state. It's just like, this is how you feel, and you if you feel it deeply, this is how your reality looks like on different levels manifested. Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Would they like to tell you if there's any more work that needs to be done or releasing that needs to be done
Yeah,
around
I'm
the
sweating.
safety?
I've started already. I have my focus moved on my physical body already, and it's like, you know, when you sweat and you stink.
Uh-huh.
This is how I feel now. It's like I'm in a sauna, and it started like for 30 seconds. I'm in a sauna now, and it's just, it's burning. Like,
Mm-hmm. What's being burnt up?
the residues.
Mm-hmm.
I scanned, like I went inside, and this silence, like it's like each of my cells is like a furnace. This is how I felt it, like a furnace burning, and uh, but it is a silent. It because I focused and asked if it's something particularly like an emotion or type of something, a belief, or that needs to be acknowledged now and to be seen. And it was silence, like only this furnace like burning inside of each of myself. Just let it be, like let it happen.
Would they like to tell you what difference you'll notice when that process has completed?
It's like when you're flashing, I see dots, like dark dots. Imagine a coin that it was kept. It's a comparison. A coin that it was kept in, let's say, in the soil, and you take it out and you start flashing. Yes, these waves, and you're flashing layers and layers and layers. And now I see that is the sensation of the flow that I described before, that the amount of the flow that I am allowing in my body is dependent, and it's intercorrelated with the structure of my body, what it can hold, how much. And I've seen that this bluish light, this is the color of the flow that I was describing, this electric pale bluish light, alive, light and water, both, that I will feel exactly how this energy feels like I will feel my body becoming more and more one with it.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Like this stream, like what we call the central column of light, which is in fact this core energy, which is getting larger and larger until you become it. I'm just infusing it. I've done this in meditation many times with different types of energy. And it's like the feeling is the cells are like the same feeling when you held your breath for a long time. When they receive this is cleansing energy. When they feel this cleansing energy, it's really transforming. Like this is the difference. The difference between taking each little black dot that you have and looking at it and studying it and Yes, sometimes it's necessary, but there is a point when you reach and you can just turn this and decide to turn this energy and to let it flow within you and through you. But it's that moment of you, paradoxically, you could fear that you are going to get drowned. This is the sensation. It is too much. And now I received an answer of a question that I had for a week or so. I have now I understand. I have sudden moments when my breathing out of nowhere is just fasting, like going fast, like I'm having a panic attack with no reason, and it's short. And also moment of dizziness, the same short, and the answer is because I'm accustomed to this increasing coming in of this energy. And that's why I said the feeling is like you could feel that you're drowning. Your body has this reaction first.
Anything else they'd like you to know about that?
Just stay still. Like, remember that you are in the water already. Like, visualize one exercise whenever I would have any feeling of discomfort or agitation or something. It's just a similar image with being in the womb, in the water, when you're in the womb, but not in the womb of a woman, but imagine yourself in the endless ocean and you are sitting inside, so within this water, and just breathe there. And it's automatically regulating all the systems and everything.
Beautiful.
I have the feeling that I'm sweating so much.
Yeah.
Exactly like in that water.
Would they like you to know anything about your shoulder blade and the left side?
Yes, his rejection. I was fighting it, and I felt it. It's not the shoulder blade. It's the lung. And now I can see why I felt a difference in the breathing, like lately. Although I'm doing breath work for years, and I felt it's like a shortage. Not always, like, and now I can see that they are correlated. It's like I'm closing. If you look from up, the system, the breathing system, is like a network. And it was like I was trying to close the left lung. Like I would put there a stop and it can flow, but not through the lung to the left lung. Like I was, when you take a reserve, like a safety place or something, like, okay, but not this one, or not all of it. Like, this is the resistance. safety net. Fear of disappearing. This is what I heard.
Mm.
And this is correlating with the feeling that I had with this sliding. So while you make this transformation, the body's feeling can feel, because it's consciousness of the body, can feel like sometimes it is drawing until that's why you have to be present. Like it is like you are embracing your own body and talking with your own body. And you can do that by talking, but it's much, much easier when you put yourself in that state of being in that water, that primordial water, when you don't need to talk or do all sort of things, is because you are talking with the core. And while you are doing this progressively, this transformation, and you let in more and more, there is a point when you can feel that, okay, what is happening here is like you don't know what is on the other side. It's like when you fill a bottle, for example, with water. Let's say it is filled 95%. Until the bottle is filled, you know that you have a bottle and you are filling it with water. The question is, what happens when it's 100%? What's next?
Mm-hmm. What do they say to that?
Don't you want to find out? Of course I do. But I respect. This is something that I acknowledge now. I respect each stage of my process. And I don't see it as being, I can say that, okay, for the moment, maybe I need this, like I needed a rock. I'm grateful that the rock was there. And I'm grateful to my lung that he was like handling this thing that I've done, and that all the parts of myself that are supporting my experience. So yeah, in the region that I feel comfortable, I'm sure that I'm going to explore. There is no timing, there is no rush, there is no it's okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else they'd like you to know about sliding out of this reality? You know, that's kind of been the whole conversation without using those words, but that merging the old other reality into this one. Anything else they'd like you to know about that?
You are already doing this. You are just, wow, this is like, they showed me like this. When you look from the perspective of the human, is looking that you are not sliding, that you are trying to make a slide. When you are looking from other perspective of your consciousness, you've already made a slide. Because each state in which you are is a slide. Wow. The meaning is, with everything that we experience, like I see minute I spoke about the crystals because I've seen now a similar image that they are like 𝗏𝗧𝗏. emitting those lights like pulsing, flashing light. We are, with each pulse of light, we are sliding through and out, in and out, like the breathing. This is the constant nature. It's not about the sliding, it's like breathing. You are doing it. The question is in which state you perceive yourself to slide in and out. You are already doing it. It's like a light, let's say, that can pulse as green, blue, yellow. It has the possibility to pulse in any color. Or the TV is the same. Like you don't change the place. You don't slide physically. You just emit a different type of light. You just slide, you could say, slide into a different frequency, but you don't move. This is what I'm seeing. We don't move. We just pulse. It's like, it's light coming in, out, flashing in, out, in, out. This is the movement, and I've seen this before. Nothing is moving like physically. It's just these different rhythms of vibration and pulsating, which creates the appearance of movement, of time, of space, of different types of expressions, because it's like the white. When you take the white light and you put it in a prism, it splits in different colors, but it's one. It reflects, it can reflect in different nuances, but it doesn't change its nature. And this is not a limitation, but it's a gift. You are not only green or pink or whatever frequency you choose to express. So it's not about the new earth, about sliding, going in another place or in another body, or expecting for something to happen. It's you becoming that flesh. It's you becoming that frequency. And exactly this is the moment I'm being turned around at exactly the beginning of the session, when I've told you about the explosion of light from my chest that was coming from within. This is the flesh.
Beautiful.
Because the outside, the light that we see, that the physical body that we see, the aid of these particles express, is just a reflection, a translation of the vibration that we are.
Do they have any other? Go ahead.
And I think I just felt a sense of completeness.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, yeah. Any final messages for you today from them?
You know who you are. Look within and just ask, when you still have sometimes moment, when it seems like you forget, it is said like in a tone, like, okay, you still have some doubts, you still have some moments, and you start questioning yourself, like, look within and remember, like, and I know this state because I felt it, and we all have it inside of us. There is, when I said that, ask the question, there is an intelligence. It's something beyond any brain could, any technology could encompass. It's that field of intelligence that you are asking and speaking with. It has no name, it has no dimension, it's outside of any category. It's the sound, it's that sound, the sound from the beginning. And the idea is that when you connect with that vibration, any question that you would have that is limiting, doubting yourself or diminishing in any way yourself is dissolved in few seconds. It's like literally dissolved when you truly connect to that frequency. It disappears. You don't need to hear encouragement. You don't hear to cognition, to have a cognitive experience of a message being communicated to you in a way like two friends are talking, like you're doing therapy, or no. It's like it's gone. And it's just, okay, all right. Wow. These are good reminders for me.
Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Would they like you to come back and speak with them at another time outside of a session like this?
I am doing it. I know.
Beautiful. Then let's thank them for all the help and information they've given us today.
I've already thanked. I've told you today. It was very beautiful. Like before you were asking the questions, you're saying something. I could
So perfect.
hear it.
So
Very
perfect.
beautiful.
And now we're going to bring you back up. 𝗦𝗲𝗀 bringing you back up, counting you up from 1 to 10, bringing you back to this time.